In this video, I'm going to explain how you can drive a Tesla for free. See, if you've got £30,000, which is typically about how much it costs to buy a standard Tesla, I would say don't use that £30,000 to buy a Tesla, because it's going to cost you £30,000 to buy a Tesla when it can be completely free. Let me explain how you drive a Tesla for free. I'm a property investor, and I've been buying houses for the last 15 years. I don't buy many cars, I tend to buy houses. I drive nice cars, but let me explain something. If instead of putting £30,000 down, boom, to buying a Tesla, which is just going to go down in value, and it's just going to be a liability that you've got to pay to fuel and fund. Instead, if you use that £30,000 as a deposit to buy a house, let's say you're buying a house for £100,000. If you know how to buy houses smart, the right type of houses, you can rent those houses out on short stay lets on Airbnb. I do this all the time. You can buy cheap houses or even an apartment, a little apartment on a beach somewhere, and rent it out for £80 a night. If it's got an 80% occupancy and it's renting out for £80 a night, that's still going to leave you with a profit of around £1,000 a month after all your mortgage payments, your cleaners and everything. With that £1,000 a month profit, so you put down a 30 grand deposit, you're making £1,000 a month. With that £1,000 a month, you can now lease a Tesla. You can lease a Tesla from around £425 a month. So you're leasing a Tesla, but you've still got left over £500, £600 a month, which you can then spend on running the car, I was going to say fuel, but it's electric, isn't it, a Tesla? But still, you've got surplus money to pay towards your rent. So if you've got £30,000, I would definitely say don't use that to just buy a Tesla. Instead, use it to strategically buy an investment property, and then with the rent that you're making from the investment property, pay to lease your Tesla. Another great thing about this as well is what happens to houses in value over time. Well, they go up. Historically, you can look back over the last 10, 20, 50, 100 years. So if you own a house instead of a Tesla's gonna go down in value. It's gonna go down in value. It's gonna depreciate. Whereas if you've got your money in a property that's strategically invested, not only are you gonna be better off from a month-by-month cash flow perspective, but also you own an asset that is appreciating in value. Historically, houses double in value every 10 years. So if you've bought a house for 100 grand and you've put down 30 grand for your deposit and a bit of a refurb, when that house goes up in value, if the house doubles in 10 years and is worth 200 grand, you've made 100 grand in equity. What can you do with 100 grand? Well, that same house that was being rented out, which was covering your lease, now when it goes up in value, sell the house or refinance the house and use that to go and buy a Tesla. So not only can you rent a Tesla with the rent, you can also buy it with the capital appreciation. So I think the lesson to this is don't buy cars if you've only got £30,000. Invest strategically into property, lease your lifestyle until ultimately you can start buying your cars. In fact, I was 29 years old before I bought an expensive car. Before I bought an expensive house to live in. I bought a house about 2 years ago for £3 million to live in. But until the age of 29, all of my things that I was buying was all things that I was renting out. I was leasing my life. So don't just go and blow 30 grand on a car. Invest, invest, invest. And the best investment, even better than property, is yourself. So if you want to invest in yourself, invest in your education, come spend a day with me. I'm a nice guy, so it's just £1 for a ticket. £1, invest £1 in yourself. Let's spend a day together and learn all about how you can strategically buy those types of houses. Now you might be thinking, but I don't have £30,000, so what do I do? Well, even if you've not got £30,000 to invest in a car or a house, you still need to learn to find these houses. Because if you can find these strategic investments, even if you've not got 30 grand, you can then sell that as a deal, sell that property as an opportunity to an investor. And typically you're going to get paid about £3,000 per sale that you make. How much money do you need to do this? Nothing. You just need to know how to find these houses. If you do that 10 times, one a week for 10 weeks, you've now got your 30 grand. And now you can invest in one yourself and then lease the Tesla.